Hello there everyone, and welcome to this evening's commentary of TRRL, thank God I got that right, TRRL 12, the season finale here in France. Only 11 drivers today, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean we can't have good racing, does it? As we just wait to head into qualifying, just the one session. Anyone in chat, let me know if you can hear me and if I sound okay. Otherwise, I sound like a right fool talking to myself. And that's my dad. Sound beautiful. Cheers, Ben. So looking very overcast here in France today. As we'll wait and see who is going to be the first car out. Oh, I've got rid of all the UI. I'm expecting a couple of the quick drivers here today, like Jesper, Apex, to try and lap on the mediums maybe. Softs do not go that long round here. Maybe stretch to 10 laps if you're lucky. As it's going to be Vano who wins the race out on track. Rain in the race, oh alright. So I'm not expecting any drivers to try the mediums then, unless it starts off dry and then gets rainy. Alright, thanks guys for everyone who's telling me the weather. As we have Mr. Miggins also out on track. He is my friend, so I can say bad things about him. So expect a lot of slander of the Haas driver here today. So let's see how good my knowledge is of the front of the French circuit. So there's 15 turns, 2 DRS zones, one coming out of turn 7 and one heading into turn 1. We've got a nice chicane that Vano has just gone round. That we might see a few lunges, a few dive bombs. Never know. Speed trap also at the end of the back straight. We have the beautiful swooping right-hander that Vano and the Haas of Mr. Miggins are just going through now. And also the right-hander just before it, where you just slightly flick the car. Just a light whoosh through the corner. So we'll stay on board with Vano as he starts his hot lap. We'll do an off-board with Vano. We'll do an on-board with someone else. So you want to try risk it when going into turn 1. Try brake as late as possible and not cut the corner too much. You don't want to invalidate, and it's easy to run wide there. But Vano seems to have got through it all cleanly. Yet again, you want to see how late you can brake through there. Very easy to invalidate or get warnings around France. But it seems like Vano's not doing too bad of a job. A little bit of oversteer, going through turn 6, I think that was. And now you just want to punch it down this back straight. It seems a lot longer than it actually is on the mini-map. Yeah, again, France is actually quite often about how late do you dare to brake. But Vano seems like he's doing quite well, as I believe the Haas behind has just gone off the track. Well done, Ben, you tosser. No, I'm joking. Vano flicks it through the right-hander, and now you have to get a great line through the really, really long right-hander that follows just after it. Off-board, this doesn't seem like too bad of a lap from Vano. That looked a little bit wide from him. That's another corner you need a good line through. You want to try get out wide around that corner so you get a good exit. And Vano brakes. Oh, I think that was a bit too late there, Vano. That might have lost him a 10th. And you just want to punch it again. Traction can be a bit of an issue come around turn 15 and it's a 1:33.5. Definitely expecting some quicker laps from some of the drivers, but that is not too bad of a banker from Vano, so not too bad of a lap from him. Who's next across the line that's on a lap? I think Jasper? Jasper's invalidated. Nope, Spillage is also invalidated. How about the right, DPR Niller is on his hot lap. And got the power a little bit late, but maybe just trying to avoid the dodgy traction you get around France. Very technical circuit. Nice line through turn 15. Got on the traction pretty nicely as well. And his time is going to be a 1:30.5. Much better than the Alpha Tauris of Vano's. And that seems like a pretty competitive time, but you never know. Who's on a lap that's far into their lap? Is the Williams? No, they're on out laps. I think okay, so it's Derby Bay who's I think is the closest to finishing their lap. Unless Vano is, I think he's setting another one. He doesn't improve 2.5 tenths away, so Derby Bay one weren't we? How nicely does he put it through? Oh, that looks pretty wide, but don't lose. Oh, he's invalidated. You don't actually lose an awful ton of time if you go too wide round that corner. That's wrong part of the track there, Derby Bay. No, I'm joking. Jasper's invalidated his lap again, so seems to be struggling with the track limits around France. Who's the car behind him? I think they're on a lap. No, Ray's also invalidated and is heading into the pits. No, Monkey Matthew's on his out lap. I think Nilla's on his in lap. You're right there, Nilla. Just took out the Simon board. That was rude, wasn't it? The worst driver on the grid. I mean, Mr. Miggins on his out lap as well. He's just about to come around to start his lap. But why don't we stay on board with him? You okay, Apex? What's going on there? Okay, right. Apex was trying to do what are they called? Burnouts. Stefan Champ is going to be next across the line. We're about 8 minutes into the session and only 2 people finishing their lap. Oh, right, righty then. Williams comes across the line and a 1:30.1, over 2 tenths quicker than DPR Niller's lap currently. Anyone else crossing the line? Derby Bay now is actually finishing his lap with the Daniel Ricciardo helmet. He sets a 1:30.3, slightly off Niller's, which also means he's not too far off Stefan Champ's, and he decides to cut the entirety of turn 1 and 2. But I don't think that'll be an issue, it's not getting in anyone's way. I think I just missed someone's lap, or someone crossing the line, so I'm sorry if I did. But Mr. Miggins now, he's going to be next to come across the line. Seems to be getting a bit sunny around France today in qualifying, as we're just about halfway through the session. Where can Mr. Miggins put himself? P4 with a 1:30.4. Not the worst lap in the world. I think most of these drivers can definitely improve. Maybe not Stefan, because that's actually a really good lap he's put together. A 1:30.1. As we're seeing Eagles Noir D4 come across the line. Some beautiful camera angles we're getting around here actually. As Stefan Champ, of course, as soon as I say he can't go quicker, proves me wrong and goes quicker. It's still a 130.4, but improving by a few hundredths as Noir goes 5th. I said that really weirdly. Noir. Is he going for another push lap? No, I think he's backed out. Is he? He's going pretty quick. I think he's doing another push lap. It's going to be Apex next to come across the line. I personally think he's a very underrated driver in a TRRL. He seems to be incredibly consistent and very aware. Never seems to get involved in incidents, or at least never really his fault. I think he's still awaiting his first win though, but could be wrong. If I am, then I'm sorry, Apex. Pretty wide line through turn 12, I think. We have a yellow flag behind him, but obviously it won't affect him. What's he going to set? A 131.8. I think he can definitely go quicker. Apex, I've got faith in you, mate. I want Andy invalidate, so even if he did want another push lap, he will have to wait. Oh yes, I forgot, everyone will be on wet setups, won't they? Yeah, so maybe some drivers can go quicker. Maybe some prefer their wet setup in dry. If so, I'd probably rename it as your dry setup. That seems a little bit off and weird. But, alright. Mr. McGinnis must be getting a nosebleed being that high up. Just helping that out. Ray still hasn't managed to set a lap yet, and not sure why Jesper's going out. Not sure if he has a qualifying ban. Jesper, I see you in the chat if you don't mind letting me know, or if you're just saving it to the end. Obviously, we all have different tactics, maybe wanting to wait till the track ramps up. We're kind of at the point in the session where everyone's either on their in-lap or out-lap. As not sure who will be next to come across the line. Eagles gets out of the way for Apex, so I think he's going to be on another push lap. You're saying to the end. Alright, yeah, fair enough. We all have different strategies. You definitely want the track to be ramped up around front to maximise your potential around here. Apex 3/10 down on his time. Maybe his time's slow because he made a mistake in a different part of the track. We don't know. Pretty long run down into the quick turn. We'll go for turn 8, why not? I just want to check if that's right. Oh, turn 10. Right. Wasn't right. Moving on. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I see you've come out now, Jesper. And, oh, Apex just invalidating from the exit of turn, I think, 12. I think he might have missed the pit lane there. I remember on 2019 it started out as being on the, actually on the main straight, and then they updated it to change it. A fun fact for you there. I thought Mr. Miggins was on an outlap, but maybe just couldn't really be asked to send another lap, in which case fair enough. , is the furthest man on a hot lap, 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31.9. 1:31. as whilst we're watching Vanna, we'll actually get the drivers' standings up if I can find them. Yes, here we are. So we'll start with the constructors. So I think Mercedes have are crowned the constructors' champions of Div 2. Aston Martin and Red Bull, there's still time for them to change, but only one driver for Red Bull and one for Aston Martin today. So as long as Jasper can finish in the points or get some decent points over Apex or near Apex, then I think that should be secured for them. Then we have Alfa Romeo 4th, Williams 5th, McLaren 6th, Alpine 7th, Haas 8th, AlphaTauri 9th, and Ferrari in 10th place. Now the drivers' standings. Jasper has been crowned the new Div 2 champion, so very well done to him. Blyther in 2nd, who unfortunately isn't here, nor his young white boy, which is a shame. Monkey Mafia, I think if Monkey Mafia wins, he could have a chance of going to 3rd, but I'm not sure. Apex in 4th, Sicario, who isn't racing today, in 6th. No, Apex in... Did I say Apex 5th or 4th? Can't remember. Spillage is in 7th. Joe Mama, who isn't racing, in 8th. DPR Nilla, who's not racing, in 9th. iMarshall 10th, who isn't racing. Stefan Champ, who's currently on pole, in 11th. I think he might have joined mid-season. And as I just saw Jasper go quite wide then, but not invalidate. What time can he set? A 130.8. Alright, he told me he was struggling with the wet setup in the dry. It's not the worst lap. It's, I think he might be going for another push lap. I'm guessing that's Apex in the chat. Yeah. Nah, don't worry about it, Apex. It's a tricky pit lane. He didn't interrupt anyone as well, so you'll be fine. I do think Jasper is currently on another hot lap. Yeah, up nearly 5/10 up on his time. That he could get 2nd here, unless he continues the improvements. I did no practice for the Div 1 race either, so I'm just going to have to take notes from the all the quick drivers here. As we're near the end of the session, so you can expect many drivers to be on their hot laps. As I was on his out lap. Alright, let's go back to Jasper. Yet again, another wide exit for him. Where can he go? P2, beating Nilla by 0.02 of a second. And Spillage actually beating him by 0.05 of a second. So we're separated from 2nd to 4th by 0.07, which is incredibly close. Mr. Miggins not managing to improve on his lap. What a burp. As the checkered flag has dropped on qualifying, and Apex doesn't invalidate on his lap, so he's sitting in P10. Very fortunate for him. Vano also will be in P11. Oh no, because it's wet, isn't it? Never mind. Can Nilla improve? He's 2.5 off on his time, so I think Nilla will be taking P2 back at least. Is it enough for pole position? Can he put himself on provisional pole? No, he doesn't improve. Oh, what a shock. Well, unlucky Nilla. I'm guessing it's Eagles puts himself P2. Sorry, I should be watching people, shouldn't I? Yeah, very unfortunate for you, Nilla. It's Stefan Champ, who is currently improving on his time by 10. This guy seems like a driver with a lot of pace. How much can he improve by on his lap? A 129.963. That is a great lap. Can anybody beat that? Mr. Miggins coming across the line. He's going to actually be... Oh, he's invalidated. Derby Bay has actually already crossed the line. Ray has backed out of his lap time. Jasper has invalidated, and so has Village. So that will be the grid for the race today. We have got Stefan Champ on pole. Not exactly dominating, but a great performance by the Williams driver, down in 11th. I'm guessing with this pace, with that pace, him being down in 11th is by just him not managing to do enough races or join mid-season. Eagles Noir and Spillage not separated by much. I think about 900th of a second. So they could be two to look out for. Deidre Miller and Jasper barely separated by 2,000th of a second. And Derby Bay only 400ths off of them two. Mr. Miggins, expect them to be lower. No, I'm joking. With I think that was a 1 minute 30.4. And we'll just wait for the results to come up. And so there they are. So we were on Mr. Miggins a 130.4, then a big gap from 7th and 8th from 30.8. Monkey Mafia and Ray, the Alpine Williams, barely separated as well. Then about a second off is Apex to 9th place, and Vano about 2.2 seconds off. To be fair to Vano though, I think he's on keyboard, so gotta give him some credit to be that close, and I know how rubbish keyboard is. Well played, Vano. So I'll mute my mic and we will wait until we get into the race, and I will join back with you. So no formation lap, and the lights are going out already, but I don't have any HUD. And lights are out, and now we are underway. We'll assemble this village, and there's a lot of wheel spinning from all the drivers. I think that's Vano in the back, nearly going off. Stefan Champ has a huge lead. Jasper's already moved himself up into 5th. Somehow Derby Bay's already got a 3-second time penalty. All drivers going wide. Off turn 2, I think that's Ray. Ray has gone for a spin. Stefan Champ already 1.7 seconds ahead of second place Jasper. Looks like all drivers are being very careful. The two Ferraris are having a battle, and Derby Bay gets forced off. And that's a spin. Who's that a spin for? That's Mr. Miggins, who was spun off. And okay, thank God he was ghosted. Ray and Mr. Miggins nearly colliding. Could there be a move? Vano, can he make a move on Apex? The AlphaTauri on the Red Bull driver. He's going to try to stick his nose in, but he will back out eventually. There's McLaren and the Ferrari both having a battle coming round the chicane. There's the pit stop strategy at the bottom. It should be full wet for the entire race. Derby Bay just not so much traction. And now Monkey Mafia try and make move on the outside. He doesn't. He backs out. Has he got the cut back on Derby Bay? Those are going to dive down the inside. No, he is not going to try that risky move. Jasper and Spillage trying to close the gap on the Stefan Champ. But it's going to be extremely hard because you saw his face in qualifying. He's looking very, very quick to get the penalty. So I'm not sure Derby Bay actually got 3 seconds because there'd only been about Pardon me, guys. Sorry. There was only like one corner gone. Let's just check quickly, because I don't know what he could. Right, apparently he exceeded track limits on the straight. And Mr. Miggins also got one for spinning out. Apex has also gone for a spin. Apologies for missing that, guys. But Apex now dropping down to the back again, with it's just not seeming like it's Apex's day. And Mr. Miggins catches a beautiful slide. I must say, if you put that in Rally, I've never watched Rally in my life. What did they do? Score it? I don't know. But great recovery by the Haas driver. Who needs to start? You'll have to look after those rear tyres, as they'll definitely be lit up. Jasper and Stefan holding the gap to each other. Seems like Stefan's quicker on the straights and the exits, but Jasper has a lot on the entries, and that's Apex going for another spin. Yeah, as I said earlier, just not seeming like Apex's day, really. Let's hope he can make some sort of comeback in this race, because I do like Apex. I think he's a very good driver in this league. Jasper's still trying to close that gap. Obviously, he's not driving for anything at this rate. He's got the title secure, just looks to have a bit of fun. Like, if I'm Jasper, I'm not sweating this game. I'm not like pushing as hard as I can. I'm just having some fun. I believe Vano and Ray were having a little side-by-side battle as Stefan Champ sets fastest lap of 1:45.4. Both of them losing the back end. Vano catching his, coming worse off there, and now a gap of 1.4. So it seems like Spillage has actually dropped out second. Obviously there's no DRS in the full wet, but he'll want to still get the help of Slipstream as he goes very wide, and now put him in a cute angle in the corner. Miggins gets the first, I personally say, legitimate 3-second time penalty, as I still really don't know how Derby Bay got his. Maybe he just drove off the track for too long. I'm not sure. He's probably not sure. But obviously in a wet race around France as well, probably not expecting millions of overtakes. I'd still expect some entertaining racing, as Stefan Champ still bringing out the gap on the Aston Martin driver behind him. I think Eagle's trying to join in this battle as well. He wants to be like, hey guys, I want to get second place too, please. Seems like Mr. Miggins is already making gains on one of the drivers at least. Vano's, I think Vano goes incredibly wide. I'm also in person and just have a drink. Lovely cup of tea to fill you up. I believe both of them getting 3-4X, and we've got a virtual safety car. Now, as I think Apex might have had a moment. Sorry for the noise, guys. But yeah, not really sure what happened then. As Apex is going really slow. I mean, we can see on his steering wheel, he's got a high delta, so might want to get a little bit of a move on if he still wants a chance of getting back in this race. But yeah, not really sure why that 30's come out, but this will slow the pack down. Obviously in real life this would just allow stewards to fix any, maybe a polystyrene board's gone down, we don't know, but we'll wait for this virtual safety car to leave us, and let's see who can get the jump on each other. We'll assemble this village because he's got the closest gap to any of the drivers. You never know. If it ends in a bad place for one of them, the gap could increase or decrease. They'll also want to watch their tyre temps, as they can actually drop quite a lot in the wets on the virtual safety car, as it has now gone. And I think Jesper coming off there, around there, and then spillage losing the back end. Still keeping within the 10th, and I think Jesper actually gained a little bit of time on the Williams of Stefan in front. As Mr. Miggins losing his entire front wing, just losing the traction, coming round the quick right-hander. Of course, there's no virtual safety car for that, but he will be jumping right into the pits. Remember, Mr. Miggins, got a brake a bit earlier with your front wing. Let's hope you can avoid a penalty for speeding into the pits. So if you can see the amount of understeer he has got, and that would probably end up being a warning. Yeah, he makes it into the pits safely. So Apex does eventually gain one position back, as I have the internet symbol for some people, and there's another virtual safety car. Maybe for Mr. Miggins' incident, just coming out a little bit late. Let's hope this isn't one of those glitches where there's a VSC every lap in the same place. Because no one wants that. We want to get racing, don't we? That also mean we need a lobby restart as well. Yeah, Mr. Miggins going back out of the pits, and Spillage and Jesper now really close. I think Spillage might have the pace on Jesper in the wets. If it ends in the exact same place, then that's a little bit suspicious. Can Jesper get any jump on Stefan yet again? Right, so it's not ending in the exact same place, which is a good sign. And Stefan's actually spun it off of the road under the virtual safety car. Very, very rookie error from the Williams of Stefan in first place, and now he's got to overtake two cars to get his original position back. Very unfortunate for him. Well, as we now have Jesper in the lead of this race, Village and Jesper now both fighting for the win currently, and not just second place. Not really sure what happened to Stefan. Maybe just attempted to get temperature into the rears and just losing it. And Spillage has gone for a spin from second place. Thank God he's ghosted. That would have been a massive accident if Noir had bumped into him there. Unfortunate for the AlphaTauri driver, former Williams driver last season, as his rear tyres will be incredibly hot as well. But now that has brought the Ferrari up into third place, and now Stefan only has one man in front of him, as Mr. Miggins just giving the crowd something to watch, giving them some nice donuts. Should go drive by them. Thank you for turning up. Only his driving was as good as his donuts. I'm joking. We love you, Ben. Kiss, kiss. So currently, these three drivers of Ray, Derby Bay, Ray and the Monkey Mafia is the closest battle in trap. I believe Ray got past Monkey Mafia earlier, but we were too focused on watching Spillage go for spinach. Mr. Miggins picking up another penalty. So I said it wasn't looking like Apex's day, it's also not looking like Mr. Miggins' day either. Ray might be lining up a move on the Ferrari, takes a wider line, pardon me, to try and get a nicer exit. Ray does go quite wide and takes a large curb. Is Ray going to use any, there's another virtual safety car. This is getting a little bit suspicious now, because nothing's happened on track. the most recent thing that happened was Mr. Miggins go for a spin about half a lap ago. Can't be for that. So how much can Stefan get closer to the Aston Martin, as now we are go in the safety car. Ray looking to try and make the move on dive. He gets a great safety car restart here. Now are we going to be 3 wide? Is the Williams? No, Monkey Mafia doesn't go, but there's a little bit of tyre banging between the Ferrari and the Alpine, and the Ferrari actually tags the back of Ray. Monkey Mafia now getting beautiful, absolutely awesome traction coming out of the chicane, and now Spillage won't go for that move, just a bit too far back. It's just very unfortunate for Darby, just getting flustered, and now Ray's going really wide as well. Oh, everything's happening, all in this battle for 5th, and Spillage trying to make his way back up after his unfortunate earlier spin. Stefan Champ, he won't stand in for now, but he is closing that gap between him and Jasper. Spillage looking like he's got good pace with all the dirty air, even in the rain. You can still get a lot of dirty air, especially around France as well. The different lines that drivers take. I've seen some drivers go take a wider line, some cut in earlier where they brake. As one from after actually went pretty deep going into turn 1. Obviously through chicane, if you mess up the first corner, chances are you will mess up the second. Maggots and Beckett's to be precise as well. I hate that corner on this game. Also, ooh, a big snap of oversteer for Derby Bay. Now in the Ferrari, Spillage now going to get a run on him. Derby Bay goes defensive in the Ferrari. He is going to fight it. Spillage is going to try and hang it around the outside, but he backs out. Oh, and Derby Bay, beautiful defending, squeezed him just enough to leave him through, but also so he compromised his line. It's a great driving by both these two drivers. Let's hope they can keep giving us a great show. Stefan Champ has brought this gap down to 8/10. Obviously, I'd say right now, 2 of the quickest drivers in this division. Maybe the 2 quickest drivers in this division. I think something just disappeared off the screen then. Yeah, who cares? Alright then, so Spillage still trying to get past this Ferrari, still trying to make his way up. Darby has got that 3-second penalty, but he will be slowing him up on the central positions Spillage could be making, so I'd expect him to want to get a little bit of a move on. Seems to push the track limits pretty close there than Spillage. Maybe got a warning, maybe didn't, maybe my eyes deceived me. Dive Bay going very incredibly wide again. Maybe it's the other way around, maybe Spillage is waiting for Derby Bay to close up to the Monkey Mafia. And then he can see what happens from there once them two start battling. You can tell how much Spillage wants this overtake though. Hasn't left about 7/10 of the gap. He stayed at least, hang on, let me rephrase that. He stayed within 7/10 of Derby Bay, I'd say, at least, whilst Derby Bay's flirting with the 1 second mark on with the Williams driver. We'll stay on board with the front 2 for a little bit now. It's a nice camera angle, isn't it? So Jesper, as I said, he's looking much better on the entries of corners, but he sets a fastest lap of 1:45.3. How much quicker was that one than Stefan Champs? About 600, 700 quicker. So well done to Jesper. There's another 3-second time penalty for the harsh driver of Mr. Miggins. Yeah, as I said, just not his day. And with a 27 gap to Apex, unless there's a safety car, I'd have to say his race might be over and done now. As we have a yellow flag, and Ray has actually spun off. Ray, from I believe 5th place, has had a little bit of a spin and is now down in 8th place just behind Spillage. So still with the pack, but losing positions, which is not what he would have wanted. Let's look how close these two are getting now. Spillage seems to have backed off just a little bit on Derby Day. Maybe charging up some ERS. Let's see how much of... Oh, actually no, he's on pretty low ERS. Let's check how much ERS everyone is actually on. So, just and Stefan on roughly the same. Noir and Miller not really near anyone, they're just kind of enjoying their own race. Monkey Mafia on a lot of ERS, and Barbie on quite a bit as well. And just for another fastest lap by about 2 tenths here is Ray. Is Ray going to look to make a move on the Alpha Tauri? And we'll get very close. In Spillage braking just a little bit earlier, maybe to put him off. He got oversteer coming through the last corner. Will be very hard to make a move on this main straight. It's also hard to go to the other side as Ray locked up going into turn 1, and we're getting a very light rear end as well. But he'll try keep with Spillage as well. What a beautiful camera angle that is. Fabulous aerial shot of these 4 drivers. Monkey Mafia and Derby Bay still battling as well. We can see Monkey Mafia saving up some of his ERS, as Derby Bay is going to go for the move here on Monkey Mafia. He's down the inside, brakes much later, as Ray and Spillage are also battling. We'll stay on board here so we can see both the battles at the same time. Spillage does give Ray the P7. These two still side by side though. Very dangerous to go side by side around this corner. Monkey Mafia backs out, and Derby Bay does get the position, but is Monkey Mafia going to try and make a move? No, and he gets a very poor entry with all the dirty air. Now, but what a great overtake from Derby Bay, I'll give him that, especially in the wet. And now Ray might actually be lining up the movers. Jesper's coming to the pit, so it seems like Jesper has pulled the trigger and gone for the intermediate tyres. Not sure if it's the crossover point, but if I'm Apex or Mr. Miggins, I'm looking at this and thinking, you know what, I may as well gamble, go for the inters as well. As another 3-second penalty for Mr. Miggins. Now, you know what, I won't straight into him. Alright then, so we will have to see Jesper's face compared to like a Spillage who he was battling earlier, and Ray and Monkey Mafia, who are all quick drivers. If he can overtake these guys and stay with them, and be quicker than them, then he's made a great call. You just can't get held up though. As I think that's actually Jesper trying a move on Spillage, and look at the grip, but Jesper's got, I think it's time for intermediate, and I think that if he's called this, it is, he could jump Stefan by quite a bit, as oh, Mr. Miggins and Apex listening to me. Cheers lads. Actually no, Mr. Miggins just retiring from the race, very unfortunate for him, just racking up the penalties, and just didn't have the pace, it seemed, in wet France, and I'll warning for Apex there. Spillage getting a 3-second time penalty now. Is he going to try go around the outside of the Monkey Mafia? This could be a great overtake if he can gain supreme traction, and Monkey Mafia actually diving it into the pit lane as Jasper going to try to go around the outside. He gets forced wide by the Alpine driver. Right, can he make the move? He cannot. What a great overtake that would have been. Let's look at that now. Stefan has lost about 1.5 seconds to Jasper. So Jasper making an absolutely great call on the strategy. Bavay's not doing him any favours. As it's probably so about the crossover period, hence why Ray is able to stay in that position. It's Jasper to punch it with the ERS, both drivers deciding to do that, as is everybody. Yes, everybody but Ray is on the intermediate tyres now. Apex somehow not managing to gain on Van over Northwich though, as Ray gone for a spin. Ray's gone for a spin and is in the wall. Don't think he has any damage. Oh, but he's gone for another spin, and I think that concludes our theory of it definitely being time for the Inters. He nearly goes for another spin. And those rear tyres will be very warm. Ray, be careful. And Ray goes for yet another spin. Just very unfortunate for the Alpine. You've got to be incredibly slow, slower than you could ever imagine, if you want to get back to the pits on full wet tyres that are probably about like 200 million degrees by now. His face is still quicker than Mr. Niggins. I'm joking. Calm your beans. Obviously, just with the first one, set a push lap from the Inters as he, oh yeah, race won, didn't he? So he set a 1:43.2, I believe. Can't really be asked to check. Actually, yes, I can. 43.9. Alright, yep, so I was pretty far off. And now with all these pit stops, the gap seems to have, the gap between the drivers seems to have, increased quite a lot, and we saw the understeer. And is Ray going to retire? Or, yes, Ray E46 is the second retiree of this race. Apex and Fano, they will happily take that, as it is another free position. But yeah, look at all the gaps, they've definitely increased. So now the closest battle is this battle for first. Sorry about that. So I set for yellow flag, and is Ray coming out the pits? I swear Ray retired in the pits. Alright, well his AI is retired on track, I think. He shouldn't get a penalty for that, because I saw him go into the pit lane. Let's hope that hasn't, or doesn't affect the top two. Stefan sets a 41.8, and yes, yeah, he despawned on track. I wouldn't get a penalty for that, because he definitely entered the pit lane. Yeah, that just seemed like a game glitch there, so we'll leave him off there. Right, but yes, that is also a reminder for all drivers currently. You aren't allowed to retire on the track, you'll get a qualifying ban for that. But I'm sure everybody knows that by now. So Stefan Champ bringing this gap down to 4/10 on the back straight. I think his pace is just a little bit better than just Jasper's, because in about 2-3 laps in the inters, he's brought that gap down from 2.6 to 4/10. However, Ray was battling with Jasper, so you gotta give him that. But yeah, through the quick corners, seems like Jasper has got the outright pace. I think Stefan goes quite deep into corners, is what I've noticed. Thanks for the update there, then. Yeah, and Jasper through sector 3, getting about 5/10. Has he gone for the fastest lap, maybe? His best line doesn't. It's fastest sector 3, though. So he's definitely pushing, trying to extend that gap. Also, currently Derby Bay's penalty won't matter as he's got a 3-second gap on the Monkey Mafia. Norville Spillages as Fano is 25 seconds behind. And Apex is slowly but surely making his way to the Alpha Tauri driver. I think Stefan... Hang on. Apologies, guys. Stefan did set a purple sector 1. So both these drivers pushing, obviously with 11 laps to go. Don't think it will get dry by the end because it's still pouring it down. Yeah, look at that, a purple sector 2 also for Stefan. I didn't actually have the lap data up, so probably a good idea if I do. Still the closest man on track. Actually, no, we got just I keep going Spillage Jasper, don't know why. Yeah, I've got Spillage on Monkey Mafia, but this battle up for first is probably a bit more important, as a win for Stefan could bump him up 3 or 4 places in the standings, as I will just refer to the mighty Discord how far off he is from him. Yeah, a win could bump him up to about 8th here, really, as he now sets the fastest lap which was in the 141s, I believe. So maybe both these drivers coming into their owners. Look at the gap they both have on 3rd place. It's just incredible. These two drivers, two of the most dominant around a wet France, it seems. But Stefan, I think, made a mistake going through that corner, so we'll stand by the Spillage here. But for now, right, as he's very low on the LVS, he might have to start saving him to get past Monkey Mafia. As Monkey Mafia also takes a bit of a wider line. Sorry, these two drivers getting very close again. But then through sector 3, it just seems like I think Jasper might be wanting a bit more of a higher downforce setup, as Stefan gets a little bit of oversteer coming through the chicane. Yeah, I've just realised this track is full of chicanes, isn't it? These two are still the closest drivers on track, so we will just stay on board with them. I'm just going really tired. Hang on. Oh. Very sorry guys, I got barely any sleep last night. Apex gets his first penalty of the day. Since a lot of drivers are going much slower in the wet, I wouldn't expect as many penalties. Looks like Spilly's got very close to cutting that curve though. As you see, he's actually much slower through the entries. Maybe dirtier? I don't know. Obviously, I'll have to be a judge of dirtier during my Big Bombs race, which I will also be streaming on here after this one. So feel free to check that out if you wish. Shameless plug that. Stefan now just seemed to drop back from leader there, as that was a massive rain drop on the camera. Couldn't see anything for after that. So I've seen Thea, the usual Div 2 commentator, do this quite a lot. I don't exactly know what it is, but I think I should just mention, as Derby Bay gets... Oh no, Derby Bay enters the pit. But this league is sponsored by Sim Racer Coin. I believe they are a Bitcoin for sim racing. As Derby Bay putting on the medium tyres. Is Monkey Mafia putting on the soft, so it seems like it's could be time for dries, you know. Are either these two gonna box? It has stopped raining. But I'll get on with what I was saying originally. This league is sponsored by Sim Racer Coin, who are a Bitcoin for all sim racing needs. I know you can buy things like wheels, headsets, gloves, chairs, stands for your wheels, etc. So feel free to check them out. I personally do not know anything about them. But just think that I should mention that. There was a yellow flag. Not really sure who that was for. So, as Monkey Mafia going off the track on his soft tyres, and Apex and Vano going past them, I think it's just a bit too early of a call from the Williams and Ferrari to be on these tries. I think they saw the rain stop and they've taken a gamble. Derby Bay will probably be especially slow as well, as the mediums will not have as much grip as the softs. You can see the top two both deciding to stay on as well. I am expecting it to get to dry soon though. We can see those puddles on track seem to be disappearing a bit, as Apex I think just went around the outside along the swooping right-hander to get past Vano. So yeah, if that was the case, very well done to Apex, as that is an incredibly hard place to make a move. As I thought Vano was entering the pits there, but just taking a wider line. Alright, back to the top two though. Just for making a bit of a mistake through the long right hand from the traction. Are either of them going to box? I wonder. Yes, they both box. That should be for soft tyres. Stefan getting very close to Jasper on through the pit lane. Actually getting a bit of time as well. If these guys are smart, they will go for the soft tyres. There's Noir stays out. Yes, both of them pit for the softs. But yeah, Noir stays out. Swillish gets another 3-second penalty. He's now on 11. So that'll just be him going a bit wide on the pit lane entry. So if these guys have called it right and called it better than Derby Bay and Monkey Mafia, DRS enabled, yes it is. it is at least the crossover period now for the drivers. I'll just be quiet for a second, guys. I just have to inform the Div 1 host that you'll have delay. Right, we're back. I'm back, guys. Apologies for that. It's just we're going to be able to get past Noah. I think he does actually. I missed that. I was just looking at my phone, sorry. Oh, Stefan Champ slightly tagging the back of the Ferrari of Noah. Hopefully doesn't have damage, as I'm quite enjoying this battle we have for first, as there's 5 laps at the end of this lap on dry tyres with the track still not fully ramped up. As now Noah comes into the box, or pits even, like I would say comes to box in the pits. Don't forget it. So with DRS now, it should be much easier for the drivers to overtake, but or at least Jasper and Stefan will be much closer. It all comes down to the exits these drivers can get. So Noah comes out, just weird engine noises I was hearing then. Alrighty then, how much is Stefan going to gain on Jasper? He's going to go for the move. Both of them side by side. Jasper will land the outside. Derby race at the fastest lap in 39.9. Jasper is going to hold on to his position. Stefan has got the run, neither of them using the RS, both on to save it. Monkey Mafia now with the pass this lap. Ooh, Stefan trying to hold it around the outside, but not managing to. As Jasper trying to take a different line, maybe trying to throw the Williams off. Remember, these two both probably have wet setups on. So, maybe could see some spins, some mistakes, we do not know. Look how close the gap is between these two drivers. Both of them going very wide. Stefan will be going wide to try to get this nice exit. I think he's going to try to move on the main straight now. So that's the fastest lap. Here he goes. The Williams driver on the Aston Martin. Jasper going to try hold it. Is Jasper going to defend? It looks like Stefan's just got the traction. Is Jasper going to try and make a move? He does not. Stefan puts himself up into first place. Will Jasper though be able to get this move done on Stefan with the DRS? How nice can he get this exit? We won't want to let off the throttle too much, so we can stay as close as we can to him. Here he goes now. He was using the ERS, no longer using it anymore. Is he going to go for this move? We'll go off board with these two drivers. Who's going to come out on top? Jasper, I think, forces Stefan wide, but he gets himself back up into the lead of the race now. Stefan, is he going to try come back? They went side by side like this last lap. Are they going to try go for it again? Slight little bit of contact between the two drivers. I think Vano or Spillage might have gone off again, but we can't come off board with this battle really now, can we? Apex sets the fastest lap of 134.2. These two drivers, let's just have a look at this. Nothing going on so far. This is turning into a great battle for this win. I think Stefan will be wanting this a lot more than Jasper will. He has positions to gain. Jasper can't drop any places. Is Stefan going to go for a late move? He is. He's going to go down the inside. Jasper, can he defend? No, get off Vano. Jasper goes for spin. Jasper, whilst battling Stefan, spins at turn 2. Maybe contact, not sure. And that should now be Stefan plain sailing for 3 laps in for the lead of this race, and this should lead to him winning, unless he also makes a mistake or thinks he did hit him and gives him the position back. If there was contact, I think that would definitely be looked at after the race. Monkey Mafia and Spillage now, since them two aren't battling, we'll go on board with them. Obviously with that off-board camera angle, I couldn't tell, guys, so I'm really sorry about that. But if there was contact, I'm expecting some incidents to be flooded into the incident report. Monkey Mafia goes wide, Spillage for another 3-second time penalty. So Monkey Mafia is currently ahead on penalties, but Spillage ahead on track. I think the 3 bars near the driver's name is actually me, guys, apologies. One positive for Jasper though is that he's still in P2. Does he have damage? He's lost about 5/10 since recovering from that spin. Maybe just hot tyres. Let's see, does he have... No, car looks fine. So we stay on board with the AlphaTauri and the Williams driver here, as these are the closest drivers by a country mile. Too late to have any safety cars now, so we won't be getting any mix-ups on the grid today. Or for the rest of this race even. Oh, and today. Spillage still very low on the RS, so I'm expecting Monkey Mafia to gain a lot on the straights, depending on how much he wants to use as well. Going very deep into the corners though, Monkey Mafia. Not sure if they're just mistakes, but we'll have to see. Yeah, you can see he's going very deep, and he's actually come out of the DRS from Spillage. Does he have damage? Let's see if we can see if he has damage. There's a 31.8 from Stefan. He is trying to secure maximum points. No, I can't see any damage for him. Was there a little shark bite at the end? In the end? Can't see anything. We'll stay on board because he has put himself back into within a second of Spillage. Just seems to be going quite deep into all of these corners. Yeah, look, very deep and very wide. And I think he might have just got DRS. Let's check, but yes, just about gets DRS. But I think that battle might actually now be done, as Stefan's still bringing out this gap between him and Jesper. We'll just stay on board with him for a little bit, as there's now no longer any of the battles really going on. May as well think about who I'd pick for driver of the day. Where did everybody start? Alright, yeah, here we go. So up to the spin, I probably would have picked Jasper, because him and Stefan put on a great showing, but yeah, I'm not really sure, if I am honest. I think other than the people who've had like the unfortunate spins at the back, you know what, right? Apex has actually done pretty well to get as close as he is to the pack, but drive the day to Stefan. Yeah. I'm going to give it to Stefan. I think he's done a very dominant race. Hasn't really put a foot wrong. A few like little bits of oversteer here and there, but that happens literally every real F1 driver in every race. As that's a new camera angle that I am a massive fan of. So we are going to stay on board with him through these final few corners. Using the Aiden traction helmet, Stefan Champ should bump himself up a few positions in the final standings. It has been a great season for Div 2 in TRRL, and it's going to end on a high note for the Williams driver of Stefan Champ as he comes across the line to win the French Grand I still can't speak. French Grand Prix. Without that spin, Jesper might have had this win on lock, but I'm sure he will take a very, very nice P2. And Dika Arnilla, pretty quiet race, but who's complaining about a third place, eh? He comes across the line, doing some nice left and right. There'll be Nowadi for who... I can't remember if he made a mistake. I can't remember. Fortunately, sorry guys. Him and his teammate in the Ferrari will take 4th and 5th place. It'll be spillage, a very unfortunate race for spillage, I have to say. Looked like he had the pace in the full wet, then had the spin and just never really got his composure back. I think he'll be a bit disappointed with 6th, but 7th actually with penalties. But I don't think we can take away the fact that for the 7 laps until he had the spin, he was very quick and definitely had the pace for the top 3. Apex comes across the line to finish in 8th, and we will just wait for Vano to come across the line as well in 9th place to round off the Grand Prix for everybody in Division 2. Just see if anything's going on in the chat. No, it's just YouTube telling me random crap. The game has given Jasper 8-8 Ross driver of the day. He's personally my runner-up for driver of the day, but I just think Stefan, unless he did cause that contact, has had a very dominant display out here in France, and all credit to him. He has been great today. But that is it for TRRL round 12 in France, the season finale. And I must thank you all for for your time this evening. I've only commentated this race for Division 2, but from what I can tell, it's been a great season with some great driving from everyone. Let's hope for more of that in Season 4. I've been your commentator, Lewis the Beaker, and unless you're tuning in with me for the race in about 2 minutes, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.